So Blaine is the 10th largest city in all of Minnesota. Around 75,000 people live here, but it's never had a real walkable downtown. No town square, no historic main street with storefronts, no central gathering area. However, that is all about to change in a very big way. The city just broke ground on a $750 million project to build a downtown from scratch, really. Today, I'm going to break down the full timeline, what to expect, and where to buy before prices move on up. So, why did a city this size never build a real downtown in the first place? Well, Blaine grew as a peer bedroom community, meaning that people just slept there and they worked in other places. People moved here for space, big yards, and lower prices. Then they drove to Minneapolis or St. Paul or surrounding suburbs for everything else that they needed. Blaine never developed a true walkable downtown. The National Sports Center, built in 1990, became what the city was known for. But over 4 million visitors a year would show up, play their games, and then leave. No place to eat, no hotels, nothing to keep them in Blaine. Compare that to other suburbs that do have downtowns. Wayzata has the Lakefront District. Excelsior has its walkable Main Street and Lakefront. Stillwater has its downtown riverfront right on the St. Croix. Those places feel like somewhere you would actually go on purpose. Well, Blaine has none of that. Shopping is at Northtown Mall or big box strips along the highways. Dining was mostly chains, so that's the gap this town center is built to fill. We'll see more comparisons later, but before that, let's talk about what's coming and why is it coming. So the National Sports Center. To get why this project is happening, you have to understand the National Sports Center. I've already mentioned that the National Sports Center brings in over 4 million visitors a year for soccer tournaments, hockey camps, football events, all of that. Families are driving in from all over the Midwest. But for over 30 years, that same thing kept happening. Families would show up, play their games, and then drive to Maple Grove or Minneapolis or Plymouth to eat and stay the night in those other cities. Blaine got almost nothing from all of those millions of people. The town center completely changes that. Well, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but Blaine will get a full-service hotel right next to the sports center, a food hall within walking distance, a golf entertainment complex, a pickleball spot, and year-round things to do. Now, those visitors, they can stay, they can eat, and they can spend their money right here in Blaine. So they'll keep that spending in the city, at least most of it, instead of watching all of it drive away. Before I move on, there's something you should know. If you're thinking about moving, buying, or selling in Minneapolis or the surrounding suburbs, please reach out. We have helped over 3,700 clients, and we can help you too. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. It helps us get these videos out to people just like yourselves. So our contact information is all in that description right down below. All right, let's get into the actual timeline. It's not complete, but we've got some key dates. Blaine broke ground on the site in November of 2024. The 69-acre project sits near 105th Avenue Northeast and Nassau Street and Radisson Road. It's right next to the National Sports Center. The builders are Elevage Development Group and Banner Development, picked through a public process. This is worth knowing too. No general city tax money is actually being used on the project. Blaine is paying for this through tax increment financing, tax abatement, and bonds. Phase 1 starts with a full-service hotel, restaurant, and a food hall. Then a 5,000-seat baseball stadium and event center. It's set up for baseball, soccer, concerts, and other events. Sounds like it's going to be a really fun thing to go to. There's also a golf entertainment complex, a pickleball spot, plus parking and outdoor gathering spaces. The turf fields are already done. Major construction in other areas is already going on. Now let's hop into phase 2. Probably goes from 2027 to 2028. That's when Scheels store opens, the big sports seller of outdoor sporting activities and goods. So that's going to be awesome for them to have. I'll tell you all about that though in just a minute. There's more hotels, hundreds of housing units, more restaurants, and office space come in that phase 2. Phase 3 keeps going with some more homes and mixed youth growth. But the big turning point for Blaine is in 2028. That's when Blaine goes from a construction zone to an actual destination. So the Scheels Effect. Okay, so Scheels is not a normal sporting goods store by any stretch of the imagination. If you've ever been in one, you know that to be true. Most people don't know what these places are until they walk into one. We're talking about a 250,000 square foot store. That's bigger than most Targets. Inside, there's a 75-foot Ferris wheel, a 16,000 gallon saltwater aquarium, sports simulators, candy shops, arcades, and cafes. So these are places people drive to on purpose because they want to see the spectacular glory of what a big Scheels store is. So that's why Scheels picked Blaine. They have the National Sports Center right there. They have all this new development. Who doesn't want to be a part of that? So the National Sports Center already brings in all of those visitors, and there's no other Scheels in the northern Twin Cities suburbs. Work starts in 2026 with a spring of 2028 opening. It'll be Scheels' 37th store in the country. When Scheels opens somewhere, the effect is real. Over 500 permanent jobs will be created in Blaine. People drive from everywhere just to visit. Everything around it grows faster. Later on, I'll go deeper into this side of things, but 2028 is the year Blaine goes from a bedroom suburb to actual destination. That's when home values and that conversation around those home values get very serious. So, neighborhood proximity. So where do values actually jump in Blaine? A lot of people ask us this, and the answer is pretty simple in my opinion. The closer you are to the 105th Avenue corridor, the bigger the bump. Within about a mile of town center, streets like Radisson Road, Nassau Street, and 105th Avenue itself will see the fastest gains. Go out to 1 to 2 miles and you're in neighborhoods towards Northtown Mall and east along Main Street. Still close enough though to benefit from that ripple effect. Push out 2 to 3 miles covering most of central and southern Blaine, and the lift probably really drops off on home value. It's not going to be walkable, but it's going to be a short drive. Outer Blaine, 3+ miles out, moves pretty much then with the regular market. They're not going to see almost any benefit. However, you're still in proximity to the National Sports Center and a Scheels, so that's going to be really great. The direct lift isn't going to be there for those people, however, but it's going to be there for the people that are close. So the move, get as close to 105th Avenue as you can before phase 1 wraps up in the near future. I'll share my thoughts about what your strategy could be after we see some case studies in just a second. So before we get too excited, let's look at what happens when suburbs try to build downtowns from scratch, because it doesn't always work. The ones that do work tend to share 3 things: jobs, housing, and shopping, all in one place. Take Reston, Virginia as an example. In the 1990s, Reston built a walkable town center near Dulles Airport. They added metro access over time. Today, homes around Reston Town Center cost a premium over the general Reston market, close to 74% more. It's now one of the most wanted suburbs in the entire DC area. Troy, Michigan put together a downtown core at a major highway intersection too. It had apartments, hotels, and retail. Homes there usually outperform the broader market that they're in. Troy also ranks as one of Michigan's top communities for real estate appreciation. The thing that connects all of these ones that worked are jobs, housing, shopping, all coming together. So Blaine has all 3. However, there's another reality check coming later. Stick around for that. So the buy now strategy. So what does this mean if you're looking to buy in Blaine? Right now through 2026 is the best time to get in. Phase 1 is still being built. Prices haven't moved yet to show what's coming. In 2028, Scheels opens. That's going to be the real turning point. By 2029 and beyond, the market will already have caught up with the town center. So staying close to the 105 Avenue corridor matters most. Within 1 to 2 miles is the sweet spot. Homes in Blaine are sitting in the high 300s right now to the low 400s. The zip code closest to town center, 55449, has been trending in the high 400s to low 500s. It's also moving faster than the rest of the city. So 2 things to stay away from. Buying more than 3 miles out means you're gonna miss the majority of that bump in appreciation. Waiting until 2027 or 2028 means prices have already moved, and frankly, they're already moving. So get on that train before it leaves the station completely. The window, however, is still open, but it won't stay that way forever. Now, Blaine isn't going to turn into downtown Minneapolis. It's still a suburb. It's still a place where you need your car. The town center will be a few walkable blocks, not a whole city grid. Other cities in the metro have tried this with mixed results. Some have taken longer than expected to fully click. Blaine's different, however. The National Sports Center already pulls in traffic that most suburbs can't touch and frankly only dream about. Scheels is locked in, the site is approved, and work is set to start this year. There's always risk with something this big, but the foundation here is stronger than most of these from scratch projects. People in Blaine won't have to leave to eat, hang out, or find something to do on the weekend. The National Sports Center will finally have the support around it that it needed for decades. Home values will go up because more people are going to want to be here. In conclusion, that's the full picture behind Blaine's $750 million project. A city that never had a real downtown is building one from scratch. Home values close by are going to move up, and they already have. If you want help finding the right homes in Blaine before it gets obvious to everyone, reach out as fast as you can. We keep a close eye on projects like this across the Twin Cities. We know exactly where to put you before prices go up. Send us a message at team@hhgus.com and let's chat. Are you still curious about other big projects coming to the Twin Cities? Well, check out the video right here where we break down huge changes coming to 3 different suburbs. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video and at the next house.